That's Tony Longhurst at Lakeside. He'd be just as much at home here on the water too, the former water ski champ. Not setting any records on the track today. Let's check the grid as they line up for Heat 2, Round 7, the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship. Craig Lowndes is on the front row with Peter Brock, and then behind them Dick Johnson and Glenn Seaton.
Out of row 3, John Bowe and Alan Jones. Row 4, Larry Perkins and Mark Scaife.
And the top 10 comprise Tony Longhurst just sneaking in there with Paul Romano.
Just seconds away now from the start. Heat 2, Round 7 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, and all Holden Racing Team front row. Craig Lowndes on pole position, Peter Brock alongside him, and Lowndes absolutely leaps up the line, but Brock's gone with him. They'll go side by side into the sweeper. Glenn Seaton up behind them too. First of the pack leader, Falcons in fourth as they break hard for the carousel the first time around, but it's Lowndes just edging out his teammate Brock as they swing up through the carousel for the first time. Seaton a much better start, right up there in third position. Alan Jones tucked up behind him in fourth, and the two Shell Fords fighting for fifth and sixth. Round the back of the circuit for the first time, 200 kilometres an hour as they sweep under our track cam down toward Hungry Corner for the first of 22 laps. Peter Brock suffering some fading tyres in that first heat, had to let Lowndes through. Let's see if he can fight back in the second.
Well, another great start by Craig off the front row, and you know, Brock's dropped into second. Dick Johnson, lousy start. He won't be too happy with that. He's slowly dropped back through the field as the starts have proceeded, and Alan Jones is a big winner. He's doing a really good job. We've got the first 4 cars on Bridgestones here, so it'll be interesting to see what happens as the race ticks by.
Wayne Gardner missing in action. The number 4 Coke car had an engine meltdown in the latter laps of the first heat and didn't make the grid for Heat 2.
Plenty of pressure here from Dick Johnson, number 17, really pumped up, running on his home track as we take race cam, roof cam aboard Shell number 17 as he ranges up behind Alan Jones through this very quick part of the circuit. Cars just about bottom out on the suspension, back through the gears as they swing up out of Hungry Corner and up toward the loop. Alan Jones feeling plenty of heat from the Shell duo behind him. Just grappling for traction, get the power down, swing through this very quick right-hander onto pit straight. But there's Craig Lowndes sprinting out in front, just a bit of lap traffic there. The NZ Commodore, Seaton in third, then it's Alan Jones, Dick Johnson, John Bowe. First of the Castrol Commodores, Larry Perkins. Mark Scaife now moving up through the field in the Sega Commodore.
Been a quiet day for Mark Scaife, and by gee, haven't they picked up on the back markers very quickly.
How close do you want it? Dick Johnson serving up plenty of pressure at Lakeside this afternoon, as Dunlop Race Cam shows you. Had trouble with a blistered tyre in that first heat and did a remarkably good job to hold out Glenn Seaton over that 22 laps to finish third. Now he's found himself shuffled back a couple more positions, so he's got a lot of work to do for the hometown hero.
Into the loop, the top of the circuit, coming round to complete yet another lap. Positions unchanged. Up front, Lowndes leads Brock, then Seaton, then Alan Jones, and here's Dick Johnson right on Jones' tail, and John Bowe right behind him. Bowe now slipped back to second in the series point score, 7 points behind Lowndes, virtue of Lowndes' victory in Heat 1.
As they come up behind a lap car here, there's really not much love lost between Jones and the Johnson team. A couple of Dick's key people left at the end of last season to go and dear me, a bad balk there, unfortunately, by the NZ car. But
Peter McLeod in the NZ Commodore just gives a wave out the window. That might have been an indication to Dick to slip through. Yes, thanks very much.
Trying very hard to stay out of the way, but it's, you know, when they're coming at you so fast, it's hard to know where to go, I guess.
So Johnson's lost 2 or 3 car lengths, picking through the slower traffic there, hoping plenty of speed in those opening few laps. So he'll probably climb back onto the back of Jones' bumper fairly quickly. Let's look back behind that battle. There's Perkins, the NZ Commodore of McLeod. Scaife now trying to push his way past the slower car. And there's Tony Longhurst fighting his way back into contention. Tony had a front-end failure on Saturday, a frightening front-end failure coming toward Hungary at 200 kilometres an hour. He ran the thing up against the Armco wall. Very lucky to avoid some damage, but he missed out on a lot of track time. And now he's fighting aggressively as he jumps onto the back of Scaife's Commodore as they try and pick their way further up the grid. Look at Scaife down the inside of McLeod. McLeod gives him a little bit of space. Longhurst wants to come through, and Longhurst takes real advantage. Scaife's got a little bit wide on the exit, so Longhurst picks up another position. And there's our race leader Lowndes. Just opened up a 1.2 second gap over his teammate Brock, with Glenn Seaton behind them. So the two Holdens dominating at the front of the pack as they did in Heat 1. Little belch from the exhaust as Lowndes guides it up through Hungary and up toward the loop. Domination here from Craig Lowndes and Peter Brock in Heat 2. Glenn Seaton, though, hanging on in third. Alan Jones, very competitive run in fourth. And Dick Johnson in fifth position. Don't go away, there's plenty more action. Up the break.
clawing his way back onto the tail of Alan Jones. Courtesy Dunlop Race Cam. Lost some time when he was balked by a slower runner, Dick Johnson, but definitely got more speed and is now catching Jones again. But can he get past? That is the question.
Well, Johnson's still in contention here. He's 7th in the points placings at the moment, but he's got his teammate, John Bower, now 7 points behind Lowndes. This seesawing battle at the top of the championship ladder. So there may be a decision here if Bower proves he's quicker to slide past the boss.
Worry is the top three up front. They're getting away from them. Lowndes, Brock, and then Seaton.
Take race cam, Dunlop race cam with Dick Johnson. Has a suck on the straw to get a bit more fluid into his body. Very hot work out there. Hard under brakes for the carousel as he swings this big 1,350 kilogram V8 monster into this corner. Hard at work. You can hear on, off the throttle. Little adjustment of the brake bias again as he tries to figure out a way past Alan Jones, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him.
Now look at the back Alan Jones's car, jump and duck and weave around here. That's really the car trying to get grip and control as it's sliding across and moving around over the bumps of this circuit. Very, very unique here, the way, you know, the roughness of the circuit. It's not like that at many other places, but when you got it right, you end up way out in front, and that's where the HRT cars are at the moment.
Well, if you follow Alan Jones around, there's a chance to look at the vital signs aboard Shell 17 Falcon. That's the engine revolutions on the left, the gear that Johnson's in the middle of the screen, and I believe that's brake pedal applications in the middle, Brad.
Yep, that's what it is. And here, you know, you're on and off the throttle a little bit. You turn in, back on the throttle hard now, trying to just close that gap a little bit. It looks like Jones is just getting away a fraction here.
And meanwhile, Tony Longhurst continues his charge toward the front.
Well, he's closed up on Larry Perkins, and that's the next target.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Well, he'll have a nasty vibration coming from the front of that car now, but that just shows you how hard Tony's trying. I mean, it's a fantastic effort to get up as far as he has on a circuit that's as difficult to pass as this one. But he'd be letting Larry know what's going on. And it's amazing, really, the Perkins team have gone from a win on the trot, basically, to running 8th and 12th, I think they are at the moment. So just shows you how competitive it is at the front of this field.
Meanwhile, back in the pack is our leading privateer, Greg Crick, in the Alcare air conditioning Commodore. And he's got Stephen Ellery and the Lansvale Smash Repairs car, Trevor Ashby, right behind him. Very tough threesome here in the privateer. Oh, look how close he gets. Ellery tried to stick the nose of the car just up the inside of Crick, but not enough room, and he has to pay the penalty. Ellery off in the grass, kept the engine running. He'll get back on the track, but that's cost him a lot of time. Well, Craig Lowndes is setting a blistering pace, don't need to tell you that, but he's just equalled the touring car lap record set last year by Glenn Seaton of 51.86, so he's absolutely flying.
Tough job chasing the two cars from HRT here at Lakeside today, and that's the task that falls to Glenn Seaton right now. And by gee, Glenn, try as you might, it doesn't look like you can bridge the gap here.
Not going to bridge the gap. I've decided to ease back a little bit, look after the tyres for the next race, Gary, because probably the third race is pretty important. And at the moment, I'm pretty happy with the position I'm in. I'm just not going to catch some guys without destroying my tyres.
Well, I tell you, Mark Scaife's not going to catch him because he's put it in the gravel trap as we speak.
That's no good.
Yeah, Paul Romano is off as well, so it's happening thick and fast out there all around you, pal.
Yeah, so I have to watch it. Maybe some oil down there or something.
How's the car performing, Glenn?
Maybe some oil down there. I'm just going to watch through here. Oh, yeah, I see the cars down there.
Alan Jones continues in 4th position. Meanwhile, we might have a look at that spin we saw a bit earlier on with Mark Scaife getting in trouble down toward the carousel. Didn't quite see the start of it, but he was plenty of trouble here. Wheels locked up, out over the gravel trap. And the two of those banks there designed to slow the car down. They did that very effectively. Scaife right out there on the kitty litter. So here's the Shell charge, 5th and 6th position. John Bower would just be champing at the bit, wouldn't he, watching Bower sprint off there and just losing points each heat.
You'd have to say the Shell team are disappointed with the result this weekend so far. I think they'd expect to do quite well here. Back to a couple of Castrol cars.
3 of them, in fact.
So Tony Longhurst, much as he menaces the back of Larry's Castrol Commodore, has not found a way through here, which is just indicative. A little touch of the brakes in the middle of the corner there from Larry. Just indicative of how difficult it is to pass around here. Very high-speed circuit. There's only 2 real opportunities. Tony Longhurst just has not been able to find the door open in front of him.
And it's Russell Ingall trying to catch up with this pair.
Here we go. Brock's actually made a little bit more time back up on Craig here, but there's certainly nothing between these two. They might have 10 car of Mark Larkham. So we just start the last lap. There he is getting out of the way.
Larkham in the Mitre 10 Ford gives plenty of room for the bulldozer. Holden Racing Team 2-car domination of Lakeside. We saw them absolutely destroy the round at Symonds Plains in Tasmania, and they're doing exactly the same thing here. No one else can touch them. Lowndes brakes hard for Hungry Corner. Very smooth, very controlled. Obviously driving the car to its maximum, but not hassled at all. And he's going to win this one at a canter. Last lap, last time onto pit straight. For Craig Lowndes, it's going to be 2 out of 2. And meanwhile, just as Lowndes heads toward the checkered flag, Dick Johnson slowing, in trouble. At the pointy end of the field, it's once again a 1-2. Holden Racing Team Brock sitting back there, probably to protect Lowndes' points lead, which he's just increased again. So an absolutely crushing display from HRT in Heat 2.
The rest can read it and weep on the Shell race score. It's a Holden 1-2 again for Craig Lowndes and Peter Brock. Glenn Seaton in third place and Alan Jones, John Bowe in fifth. Sixth position went to Larry Perkins in the Castrol Commodore, then Tony Longhurst in the Ford. Russell Ingall for Castrol was in eighth spot. Dick Johnson ninth, and Stephen Richards rounding out the top 10. More motorsports action to come on 7.